The poison type in Pokemon was nerfed since Generation 1 with overpowered psychic types, and in Generation 2 when it introduced steel types which are immune to poison. So today I'm going to see if those poison types can beat a Pokemon Sun hardcore Nuzlocke. The rules of this run are simple. I am able to catch only the first poison type I encounter in each route. I can't use items in battle, but held items are okay. And if a Pokemon faints, it's considered to be dead and I can't use it anymore. I will be playing on Switch mode because it's the first time of me playing the 7th generation, and to make things a little bit easier I decided to remove this rule. This one is gonna be a little bit more hard due to Alola having powerful rock types which resist poison, a ground type Kahuna. What's worse is that Alola has only 8 poison type Pokemons. By no means this will be easy with early game pressure, such as the first totem battle. Early game poison types really suck, and you'll see later in the video why. To be honest, I was having more trouble defeating the fighting type Kahuna than the ground type Kahuna. Now, as we depart for Alola, I am ready to pick my starter. Here I can choose anything I want since none of those Pokemons evolve into poison types, but I'm going to choose Poplio to not let my rival have a fairy type, giving me a further disadvantage. After befriending Poplio only to leave it seconds later, I'm on to Route 1 where I catch a Spinarak. It will be my starter. It has a plus defense nature which is okay. I mean, if it was Adamant it would have been better, but in Spinarak it's not gonna be doing anything. So after beating up some kids at the trainer school, I catch a Grimer, a Alolan Grimer. This one is gonna be helping me a lot. It was then time to challenge Captain Lima, but I didn't have any strategy due to its early game. Anyway, Captain Lima is usually weak, so I don't have any troubles defeating it. He lead with a Yangus as I lead with Grimer. Against Yangus I simply use Poison Gas and Harden to avoid the minus defense stat. Captain Lima uses a full heal, but Grimer's Poison Touch poisons it the turn later. What a turn wasted. Then Smeargle comes in, but it can't do anything due to my plus 3 defense stat, and a few bites are enough to end this fight. Off to Route 2 I catch a Ghastly, which will help a lot, and no, I won't use it in the trial. Yangus knows dark type moves which will surely one hit KO this poor Ghastly. I didn't have much of strategy here, so I just simply used Bite as it missed a Hyperfang. It called it's a lie, but it doesn't matter, I keep using Bite again and again. And at one point I'm able to poison it with Poison Touch, but it's very cursed. Yeah, unfortunately. The last bite is enough to end Gumshoes as I'm in the red, and yeah, Grimer barely leaves a tackle, and I had already some problems with the first trial, I can't imagine what will be later in the game. While in the Verdant Cavern I catch a Zubat, which will help me a lot against the Grand Trial. Time to challenge the Kahuna of the island, and I'm a little bit afraid here. Even so, I have two Pokemon that quad resist and Ghastly, which is immune. His fighting types got a lot of attack stats, and they can easily end me even with a repeated hit. Now the Kahuna sends out Mankey first, which goes down to 2 wing attacks. Makuhita goes down to a few acid sprays. Unfortunately, I have to sacrifice Spinarak, my starter, against Crabrawler, since I'm afraid to go into Ghastly due to it knowing a dark type move, and Grimmer and Zubat are too much weakened to handle it. Now Spinarak does a great job with a Quick Claw, Nightshade, spam until it goes down. Crabrawler in the red, so an acid spray from Grimer is enough to take it down. Yeah, we lost our first Pokemon and our starter, which is very sad. As if the game wasn't difficult enough, now I have to face a very strong trainer, Gladion, which has a freaking legendary. Well, my Zubat can take his Zubat out. Against type null, I try my best with Poison Fang to try and poison it, and then I just go for damage cause I don't wanna lose Grimer. Switching to Ghastly made me understand how overpowered he is. He lands a Hypnosis, and type null gets max turn sleeps, while Ghastly handle it with Curse. Seconds later, Ghastly defeated this beast of type null. I quickly head to Akala Island, where I'm able to face the second trial. And guess what? Ghastly almost soloed it again. Now Ghastly, being the amazing Pokemon he is, he lands a Hypnosis on turn 1, giving Wishiwashi a full sleep turn. A Curse on the next turn sets a timer on Wishiwashi. His ally keeps doing dumb things which won't even help it, but it's fine, better for me I guess. Trial, I bought the most useful TM for this wall run, Protect, and here in this match it helped a lot. As Wishiwashi HP reached below 50%, it ate its berry, which will only delay its death. Next turn it wakes up, but it hit itself in confusion, which grants me another tune of course. I protect in the next turn, make Wishiwashi go into the red. Switching to Grimer is really safe since Wishiwashi became its normal form. So even after all this rain and those boosts, it still can handle Grimer. And it dies a turn later. Against Wishiwashi, a single bite is enough. Second trial, so easy so far. After beating Wishiwashi, I'm given a fishing rod which I use to catch a tentacle, a very useful Pokemon. And Zubat evolves before this next trial. I then catch a Salandit on Vela Volcano Park, and Golbat evolves into Crobat due to it holding this whole time Susbel, an item which raises friendship by a lot. To the next trial against Totem Salazzle. Now, I didn't have any kind of strategy, so I just used the old Hypnosis Ghastly strategy, and it worked. Now Salandit knows Taunt, but Ghastly outspeeds it and actually lands a curse on the Totem Salazzle, while receiving the Taunt. Having any attacking moves yet, I have to switch into Tentacle. Tentacle has a very high special defense, and also being modest nature, it can't really match damage Salazzle very much. A Water Pulse brings it to a quarter of its HP, and it ate its berry, which raised its special attack, but it won't help much since Curse ended it on the same turn. Shortly after, I switch into Grimmer to land 2 bites and end Salandit. It's a lie. This fire trial was a bit hard, but not much of a problem. I get a Farium Z, which I'll probably use on Salandit later. After cooking some Mallow speciality, Totem Lurantis approaches me. Battle is so easy that I don't even pay attention and just use a Confused Ray for nothing. A Cross Poison on the next turn deals big damage, as Lurantis hits itself in confusion. A second Cross Poison is able to finish Lurantis. Trambik suffers the same fate of going down in 2 Cross Poisons. While training, Ghastly evolves into Haunter, giving me a huge upgrade to the team. On Route 9 I'm able to catch a Marini. And with a full team of 6 it was time to challenge the second Grand Trial. I was a bit scared of this one, to be honest. Kahuna has some powerful rock types, and Tentacle and Marini can't do much offensively, so I lead with Tentacle and land a layer of Toxic Spikes. Noise Pass Thunder Wave misses, so I'm able to land a second Toxic Spike layer. It paralyzes me the next turn, but my Cherry Berry cures it. I then use a Scald for some damage, and another Scald. I then switch into Haunter, which is holding the Eviolite, handling the spark easily. It then uses hypnosis. Unfortunately, Nosepass wakes up and paralyzes Hunter. I then able to use hypnosis, and now it was all up to RNG. Hunter couldn't hurt Nosepass, so I had to switch into Marini, which could risk a spark. Luckily, Nosepass stays asleep and Marini is able to finish it. Upon entry, Boulder is immediately poisoned and hit with a super effective scald critical hit. The ability is merciless, so it will always land critical hit as long as the opponent is poisoned. Now, the most difficult part is the Slike and Rock, which has Rockium Z. Use Protect to minimize the damage from Continental Crush. It still deals a lot of damage, so on the next turn I make a very big mistake. It uses a rock throw as I go for minimize. It was a misclick. I was supposed to go into bite for some cheap damage. Now all I can do is use protect, and here I have to sacrifice someone. I decide that Tentacle is most useless here, so unfortunately I have to sacrifice it. The poison damage isn't enough yet, so I use protect, and yeah, it's not enough yet. I thought Grimmer was done for real, but it was a very lucky moment and it actually used a double protect, which saved Grimmer. In this Grand Trial I lost again a Pokemon. If this keeps going, I will end up in the Elite 4 with only 2 Pokemon. But I'm lucky I lost only Tentacle here. If that double protect didn't land, Grimer would be a goner, and that will be a very bad moment. Well, anyway, Salandit evolves, and it's only at that moment that I noticed it was a female. It was time for Totem Vikavolt, and here Hunter really solid this time again, but not with the same strategy. It actually learned Shadow Ball and it dealt very big damage, dealing a critical hit. It used Charge so I'm not sure if Shadow Ball does get the kill, but another critical hit does the job. Charge Attack, I don't kill it in one turn, but I get the special defense drop. And on the next turn, I get a critical hit. This Hunter got some insane RNG. It never missed Hypnosis even once, even so it being a 60% accuracy move. Anyway, I then catch a Trappish, which won't be much of a help to my team, but better than having a free spot on the team. Now this one was a really big threat. Now on turn 1, Trappish used Sludge Bomb, breaking disguise and landing a poison, which activates its Slam Berry, curing its poison. Second Sludge Bomb deals some damage, but most importantly lands again another poison, which sets it on a timer, and we already know what to do here. Just stall for some time with Protect and switching between mods. I switch on Grimmer when it will use Shadow Claw, and switch into Salazzle when it will use Playroll. This was still risky due to Mimikyu being still a good Pokemon. It's got good attacking stats and it was cheaping my team slowly. What's worse is his ally Hunter. If it used Nightshade, it would be my end. It kept on using Hypnosis, and unlike my Hunter, it never landed one. Now that Mimikyu is gone, I feel relieved. Trappish here did a great job, and without its insane RNG, we would have lost some of our monsters. Now Grimer evolved into Mach, and this huge upgrade lets us beat Guzma in the Shady House. After beating Guzma, we were able to evolve Marini into Toxapex, and we were able to receive a Baginium Z. It was then time for the Dark type Kahuna. Now Hunter is able to deal with Sableye using a Hypnosis and a few Shadow Balls. At this point I realize this whole time I've been relying on Hypnosis hitting every time. I've got insane luck, yeah, so nothing to do, I guess. It's an easy win. Against Krokorok I use my new obtained Baginium Z. Even so, I got Intimidated, which lowered my attack stat. A single Savage Spin out is able to finish Krokorok. At this point I realized that late game poison types are actually OP. Mach easily defeated Persian with its poison, and it was taking almost none damage despite having not that much of a special defense. Trubbish then evolves into Garbodor, giving us a huge upgrade. It was time for the ground type Kahuna, and this one, believe me, was the easiest one. I was so afraid of this exact moment this whole run, and then the only thing that damaged me was literally Sandstorm. After missing a few Hypnosis and even a Shadow Ball, I understand something was wrong. This Dugtrio had Sand Veil, which raised its evasiveness. Against Madsdale I use a Baneful Bunker, surviving a Tectonic Rage. I then switch into Crobbit and immediately Toxic Madsdale as it used Double Kick. It actually has Heavy Slam, which could one-hit KO me if it was a critical hit, but no, it goes for a quad resisted double kick. What's the sense? Last turn it goes for Heavy Slam, which does great damage, but if you used it earlier I would have died, like literally. Literally ignored Gastrodon since I was pretty sure a quad weak energy ball would have killed it, but it somehow survived. Well, I don't know. Luckily Hunter was holding an Eviolite which let it survive a hit. Risky so, and Alolan Mach actually survives a Nearest Power as it goes for Black Hole Eclipse. Dealing good damage but not enough to kill, so I have to switch after using a Protect. At this point our last Crobot doesn't have any moves to use with now, so it has to pray that Dragon Breath doesn't paralyze it, while Toxic Damage takes down Flygon. And yeah, it actually works out. But on the last turn, Flygon actually paralyzed Crobat, but it was no use, I already won this match. Now it was time for the 7th and last trial. I thought it would be very easy, but that Omni Boost helped Como a lot of. Being a Dragon and Fighting type is quad weak to Dazzling Gleam, which I taught to Haunter some seconds before. And guess what? It took a Dazzling Gleam as if nothing. Before showing you how much damage it dealt I go for Hypnosis to actually prevent this doesn't claim not killing it, because I calculated that Omniboost could help it a lot. And oh god, I'm lucky I did calculate the Omniboost. Now it was time for using the quad weak doesn't claim, which dealt what so weak? Literally did nothing, and now Sizer was out, and it had Pursuit, but for some reason it used a Leer. I don't know why, but I'm glad it did, because only thanks to it that later Hunter is able to survive at clanging scales. Now as Kumar goes down, I gotta only deal with Sizer, and the recording file here is missing, I don't know why, but never mind, enjoy the black screen, and yeah, it used Leer anyway, so no death here. Well, time for the Light 4. I challenge the fighting type first to avoid any deaths before the other Light 4. Against Hariyama, I send out Crobot, which can take a fake out easily and kill it next turn with acrobatics. But at this moment I realized that my Crobot had inner focus. This ability prevents Crobot from flinching. Against Crobominable, I send out Haunter. The Hypnosis connected, and I realized that the whole run I depended on this 60% accuracy. I then took it out with a couple of Psychic. Now it's time to show off my brand new strategy. I take an Outrage easily from Primeape and then burn it with Will-O-Wisp. This halves physical damage and deals some chip damage, which is very useful. I switch into Toxapex to waste the last turn of Outrage to confuse it. I then hope for a confusion hit while switching to Salazzle, but I get hit with an Outrage. Turn let me survive the Outrage easily, and I start to set up with Nasty Plot. I then use Nasty Plot again as Primeape hit itself in confusion. I finish it off the turn later with Flamethrower. A single Sludge Wave is enough to take down Poliwrath. I had a strategy for the Ghost type Elite 4 too, and it was different from the last one. Well, to be honest, it's not that much different. I still burn Sableye in turn 1, taking the Confuse Ray. I then switch into a Alolan Mach, and this is where the setup begins. Use Rock Polish, a move that raises my Pokemon speed. Now Mach, after a few Rock Polish, can easily outspeed all of Acerola mons. And he's got enough power to almost one-shot them. I stall a bit for time until the Barn almost kills Sableye, and it lives at 1 HP and confuses me. It could have been a very big problem if now I got a confusion hit, but luckily I'm able to hit through confusion. The move finish off Palossand. Then against Frozos a single crunch is enough that hits through confusion. Now Delmise is next, but it's not a big problem. It will always survive a crunch here, but I'm not affected by that since it's got almost no way of damaging me. And a second crunch is enough to end it. Now Dripflim will always survive a hit too, but it has only one attacking move, Ominous Wind, which is a Ghost type move, which won't be effective at all against me. Now as third Elite 4 I choose Kahili, since it's an easy one too. I burned Skarmory immediately, not only to help its physical damage but also to break its Stardew ability, which will let it survive a hit from Salazzle. Now all I have to do is set up with Nasty Blood. Skarmory can deal much damage to me and my Black Sludge keeps me healthy. I decide to go to +6 only for fun, but anyway even +4 will be enough. And start to sweep a flamethrower against Skarmory, a flamethrower against Mandibuzz. Now a few flamethrowers were enough to obliterate Kahili's whole team. Against Torikorio, so I used Sludge Wave. Crobat outspeeds me here, but I hit through Confusion and one-shot it too. Well, so far so easy, but it's time for the Rock type Elite Four, and this one is so difficult. Haunter takes out Relicanth, which wasn't a big threat from the start anyway. What's worse is what comes next. This little Probopass evolved with form of Nosepass, which gave me a lot of trouble back at the second Grand Trial. I tried to use Scald here, but nothing to do, it's too bulky. I then decided to switch into Haunter, predicting an Earth power, but it used Sunstorm, breaking my Focus Sash. Yes, the only time I didn't use Eviolite. Remember that I taught my Mac a Brick Break, a quad effective move, which deals only half of its HP. Probopass is literally too bulky. This time her Lycanroc has a strong Z move, which is based on Stone Edge, and I decided to sacrifice Garbodor here. But Garbodor, being the tank he is, barely survives and lands a Toxic. Amazing bulk. I then use Protect to stall a bit of time, but Garbodor has to be sacrificed. I can't switch in. Then go for Toxapex to stall out Lycanroc. Rock misses a Stone Age while I'm immobilized by Paralysis. But anyways, the next turn Lycanroc goes down. It's time for the biggest challenge here, Alolan Golem. I try to go with Mac to deal a bit of damage with Brick Break, but it does absolutely nothing. After Mac went into the red, I was forced to switch, and I had to sacrifice someone here, and it being Crobat, which somehow survived a hit. Anyways, the next turn I hit Steel Wing for miserable damage, and then Haunter is able to finish off this beast with a single Energy Ball. Carbink comes out next, and I decide to put it asleep and switch into Toxapex, which has a great matchup against it. Things were going pretty smoothly, as Cold was dealing enough damage and Carbink couldn't touch me. I was about to win when this happened. Olivia used a full restore while I'm paralyzed. I keep being paralyzed for a lot of time. I then understand that my only way of winning here until dying is to stall for time with Recover. At first I wanted to try and stall out all of its Power Gem PP, but now that I think of it, it's better to use Scald immediately, and after I burn it, I'm guaranteed a win here. After beating all of the Elite Four, it was time to challenge Professor Kukui. Here I was thinking of sweeping with Salazzle, but there was a chance that his Magnezone could have Starty instead of other useless abilities. Anyway, I tried. I burned Lycanroc and let Haunter die. Here I don't care anyway, anyone could die as long as I win. Now I go for Mag and just stole some burn turns with Rock Polish. And after a bit of useless turns, I understand that Lycanroc deals almost no damage with Stone Edge to Mach, and I decide to use my secret move, Memento, which kills my Pokemon but lowers harshly my opponent's attack stats. Now I switch into Toxapex to land a layer of Toxic Spikes, only a layer since I need one turn of damage on Snorlax, and 12% is way more better than 6% at first turn. I then switch into Salazzle hoping Stone Edge misses, and it does. Then it goes for Crunchy. Stone Edge would have been a 2-hit KO despite all those debuffs, but it keeps going for Acid Rock and Crunch. I guess the AI didn't want to miss here. And after being at +4, Sludge Wave kills Lycanroc despite being a resisted hit. Now against Snorlax I use Protect on turn 1 to get the 12% of damage from poison, and I use my Z move Acid Downpour, which isn't an overkill. Yes, Snorlax is really a beast. Being the tank he is, he can survive a +4 Acid Downpour from Salazzle, and I did not want to risk here. And luckily, after that cheap damage, Acid Downpour killed Snorlax easily. Now it sends out Bravery, which goes down to a single Sludge Wave very easily, but the sweep ends here, I guess. It sends out Magnezone, which could have Stardy, and it does have Stardy. Now my only chance if Thunder Wave misses, but it lands. Now if I hit through Paralysis, maybe I will be able to, but I am fully paralyzed and I am killed by a Flash Cannon. Well, I still have Toxapex, but it used full restore. Yes, so here I'll probably die anyway. Even after having almost full HP, Magnezone outspeeds me and kills with a Thunderbolt. My run ends here. I lost. Now I had a chance of winning if that Thunder Wave missed, but nothing to do. After all, I did rely on luck for this wall run, so a bit of unlucky moments is always there. Well, hope you liked this video, and of course I'll be doing many others Nuzlocke in the future. Well, see ya in the next video. Bye!